Well, hey there, everybody. It's Michael Losinski.
And it's also Tyler Esselman.
And
and also Colin O'Brien.
Hey!
Oh.
Take the floor. Find your light, Colin. You find your light like nobody, like a legend of the stage. Michael, it's Colin's here, and what is this?
Concert. This one goes to 11. It's a podcast where normally we invite someone to come and share an album with us that they believe is perfect.
So
Colin?
perfect.
Colin?
Do you got it?
I'm here to do today.
No. But how do you finish the intro?
Do you know how to finish the tagline?
One that goes to 11. It's no skips. It has no skips.
It's so good.
We can start over. You can.
So good that
No,
10 out
we're
of
keeping
10
this.
just
We are
isn't
keeping
good
this.
enough. We're keeping all of this. Agent of Chaos, Colin O'Brien. You might remember him from his rather recent first appearance on the pod talking about the legendary Weird Al Yankovic. We have decided to have him back. Well, first of all, hey, you cool cats and kittens. What's going on? 10th season went well. Good to be back with you for a bonus episode that is just, we're just freeballing now. We're just, doing whatever we damn well please, right, Michael?
Yeah, well, I mean, this was actually a suggestion made to us by someone who did not submit anything for this episode.
We won't name names.
We won't name names, but they're in Minnesota. But they had this suggestion that we were talking about, we spend so much time covering perfect albums that mean so much to us. They're just like stellar. In many cases, they might be objectively perfect, even though that's not really a thing. But what if we gathered together a bunch of music that some people think is just the worst? The worst. And so, we have decided to,
quote unquote, the worst.
That's why, because, we're all about like good vibes around here. That's why, we are calling this the best worst songs ever.
Which is a notion we talked about a lot. Like we talk about the repulsiveness of a song sometimes and how it is satisfying to some degree. So I feel like this is a topic that has come up quite a lot, but we figured that the format could be a little bit different and a little bit novel too. We're just in a season of wanting to include all of our loved ones in our endeavors. So we invited several of our old guests, of our friends of the pod, several friends of the pod, to submit 1-minute arguments for a song and why it is the best worst song. So we have 7 of them, right? Is my count correct?
We do. We have 7, and we have invited Colin back because, we're going to vote on this, and Tyler and I are just 2 people. So we need a third. We need a deciding
bracket style.
Yeah. We're going to do brackets, but we know it's 7 and 8 would be better for brackets, but we worked it out. It's fine.
Right.
It's going to be
Bless
fine.
this mess, right?
Exactly.
So Colin's function is not only to impart upon us tidbits from his wealth of eclectic music knowledge, but also to act as the tiebreaker. So as we work through the bracket, we're going to hear our friend of the pod. We're going to hear their minute-long argument. We will discuss the merits of that argument and how well it fulfills the brief, and then that we're going to put 2 of those up against each other, and then we'll decide which one is better worst, I guess. Which the one that is more best worst than the other, and that one will proceed down the bracket. If there's a tie, then Colin is our tiebreaker. Is that the kind of way of
being the tie-breaking vote makes me the vice president of the Up to 11 podcast?
I would say so. Yeah, Speaker of the House.
I guess so.
Michael and I are the executive branch, and you are currently in the at the top spot in the legislative.
I only appear when there's a tie, and when there is a tie, I get to break the tie, and that's my only job.
I guess so. Or could we make you more like the designated? What do they call that person who like
the designated survivor?
Yeah, the designated survivor.
Yeah, I'm also that. Yeah,
you can be both. You can be both.
Those are great roles for you. Colin has always had a knack for doling out awards and titles. It's one of his many strengths as the mayor of Christmas for the last many years. He has the kind of authority that we thought befit this task. We take this very seriously. We're taking these arguments in earnest. So, as with everything we do here on This One Goes to 11, it's about looking for the beauty in things, and it's about looking and focusing on things that we love. So I'm happy to say that having listened to the entries, our listeners, our friends of the pod definitely took that tack. which felt like they know us. I felt seen by that.
Oh yeah.
Would you say you
Yeah.
did?
Most definitely. So, Colin, before we dive in, I think we should all talk about like what we're looking for in a best worst
Yeah.
candidate. Perhaps also we might, if we had the option to nominate something for this, to present an example might not be a bad way to go. So Colin, what are you looking for in today's batch of nominees?
It's such a confusing thing to think about because best, worst, opposite words. I was thinking of worst songs, terrible, terrible, terrible. And being the best, worst songs makes it even worse. What I did was I listened to the songs before I listened to people's arguments in favor of the songs. And I think I'll get into this when I talk about this, but I was honestly kind of shocked at some of the picks with the criteria I had going in my head of like, many of these are delightful songs. Why are these being nominated for the greatest worst song of all time? Best greatest meaning the actual literal worst song of all time. I think of Ho Hey by the Lumineers as objectively the worst song in recorded music history. So that's what I was thinking of.
Don't worry, before I just clapped, I stomped too. So I stomped and then I clapped. Yeah. This is that I think you are on the right track with what I envisioned for this as well, because I feel like the Lumineers is there's something cloying about Ho Hey. There's something overly sweet about it in the way I would make it almost akin to Hey There Delilah by the Plain White Tees.
Ooh, okay,
like kind of that saccharine thing. And I think there is use for the saccharine, but it needs to happen in balance, right? It's like on Great British Bake Off when somebody makes the bonehead move to use rose. And every single time, not every single time, but 95% of the time, the judges say there's too much of it. And it's like, guys, listen, there's very specific feedback about this. It's just, everything has to be in balance. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Totally.
Oh, I do. What is a good example of a best worst song for you, Tyler?
It's that damn song. I see this is bad because I forget the name of it. Okay, it's Something Just Like This by the Chainsmokers and Coldplay. Do you know that one, Michael?
Oh yeah, I listened to that.
See, even that is so sinister to me. That line is so evil. It's straight up evil. I think there's something very cynical about this song in some ways. I think there was an element of cynicism that I think is at play in the best worst songs. And I think there's a couple examples of that sort of cynicism that I'm talking about in the bracket right now. So that was something I had my ears up for. And just this song is we talk about the universal versus the general. This song is so general. It's so bland. And I say this as somebody who really enjoyed and care about the early Coldplay albums. I'll admit that. Like those first few were really good, and they were kind of, it made sense why everyone said that Coldplay was just ripping off Radiohead, because I don't know, a lot of those early Coldplay songs are just kind of like a little bit duller Radiohead songs, in my opinion. So there's something I think I was looking for an element of disappointment as well. I think that has to be implicit in in assessing if something is the worst song, the best worst song. Yours is so funny. Tell us about yours.
Mine. So I think there are, like, because the word best is in front of it, I've been kind of interpreting this a little bit differently, in the sense that these are songs that are maybe not super great musically that can become guilty pleasures for some sort of reason. Right.
Okay.
If I were going for a song that was just straight up bad, I would be talking about like Hootie and the Blowfish, I Go Blind, which is, I think, maybe one of the worst songs I've ever heard. Because it's so repetitive. It is so repetitive, and it demonstrates no like creativity we're going to try not to get too negative on this episode.
Sure.
In any case, but for me, I'm talking like Hilary Duff covering My Generation by The Who, because it destroys the original meaning of the song in this like candy-coated pop world. But when you hear it, it's the sort of song that you're like, oh my God, this is so bad. You have to hear this.
Yes.
And so you like share it with people because they have to share in the terribleness with you. That's kind of what I'm looking at.
It's almost grotesque in the same way that Kids Bop is a little grotesque.
Yeah.
Right? There's something that feels wrong about Kids
You
Bop.
can like imagine her producer off screen being like, just sing this, okay? We need to put another song on the album. Just sing this.
Yes.
And she's like, what is this?
Yeah.
You can hear it in
What
the
is
song.
this?
Yeah, what is this? That's the first mistake.
No. See, I'll push back on that one. I think Hilary Duff seems pretty chill and overall. So I think she might know The Who a little bit. I'll give her that. But she can't help that she's Hilary Duff. You know, like it's so authentic in some ways too. It's like it is really just a Hilary Duff song. You know, like it just so happens to be the lyrics of My Generation by The Who. You know,
some
it's
of the
it's
music.
not related at all, really.
Yeah, and only some of the music is
Only
another
some
good
of the
point.
music.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Is she part of the Disney machine? Was she part of the Disney machine?
Yes, the Lizzie McGuire show.
Oh, okay. Yeah, very Disney. Then.
Yeah, which honestly, I remember being pretty good as a kids television show.
Lizzie
I remember
McGuire show. Best television shows.
It was pretty good.
That show goes to 11.
Yeah.
Okay.
And there's also that era had a lot of good, like I think there was interesting stuff happening on the Disney Channel back then. You know, even Stevens was a little surreal too. Yeah, I think there was something they had something going on, but she was definitely part of it. But she's kind of like still working. I'm happy for her. Seems like she's figured out her niche and has mostly been able to just kind of roll along, which we know that machine can chew you up and spit you out.
Sure can. Hope she's doing okay.
Hillary, hope you're doing okay out there. All right. Should we bust into this?
We should dive into this. We should go. So in the first round, we have 2 pairs and 1 trio that we're considering. So we're going to play the submission, the 60-second argument that they've made. Obviously, you know, we can't provide the entire song for you or even a clip of the song for you. So we'll create a playlist so you can go ahead and listen to these. The playlist will probably have to be in YouTube because at least one of these selections I don't think is available via a streaming service like Spotify or whatnot.
Correct. I know which one you're talking about.
So we're gonna introduce each thing. We'll sort of say what we have to say about it, and then we'll vote after each pairing. Sound good?
Yeah.
Let's
do it.
All right. Our first pairing, we are pitting Jeremy Gable against Joe Rivers. And so first,
a clash of titans for sure.
A clash of titans.
This is a heavyweight in the first round.
Yeah. So first, let's give Jeremy's submission a listen.
I would like to nominate William Shatner's theme from Cyrano / Mr. Tambourine Man, which is off of his 1960s album The Transformed Man, which is just best worst songs beginning to end. Almost every track is him doing a recitation of a classic text and then a spoken word of a popular song at the time. And they're all pretty amazingly terrible, but I think this one is my favorite. Just the bombastic way that he does Cyrano de Bergerac and then uses that to transition into a trippy Mr. Tambourine Man, ending with one of my favorite shouts in all of music history. It's immediately what I thought of when you said best worst song. I listen to it constantly and have for decades, and I think that's it. I just listen and enjoy.
All right, Colin, what do you think about William Shatner's what is it? Something from theme from Cyrano slash Mr. Tambourine Man. What do you think?
I think this is a great number 1 seed. I think of all the songs on this list, it was the only one I was truly struggling to get through and dreading listening to. I love that he says he listens to this constantly.
Yeah, constantly was the word that he said.
And he ended with saying enjoy. I think this is not a song. Let's also talk about that. This isn't a song. Yeah. This is like 6 minutes of like music with William Shatner talking over it.
Right.
It's a spoken word album is what it is. Song for sure. Yeah, it's definitely spoken word.
Yeah. I think in the purest sense of the term. It is the exemplar of the genre, if you will.
The worst part of it to me is when you hear a tambourine playing towards the end of the Cyrano bit, and he says, "Hey, Mr. Tambourine Man,
Yeah, he does.
Awful.
No. So the other funny thing is that I think this is just kind of, it's just kind of good is what it's a good on its own terms though. Like it's good in the sense that it is like decently orchestrated music, and it's a man speaking a speech from a classical play very well. Like there's plenty of craft happening here, which I think is what makes it funny, because that makes you feel like kind of sorry for them in some ways, because you're like, shit, you really mean it. Like I think this isn't this is lacking in the cynicism thing that I mentioned. There's something very sincere about it, which makes it worse, but also makes it kind of palatable, because it doesn't ring as untrue when you listen to it, which I think sometimes happens in terrible songs, is that they just don't seem like they mean it, but he really fucking means it.
He means it. He's acting this one real hard.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, it's the thing I wrote down first was, who bought this? Like, who said,
Sure.
because when this album came out,
Sure.
there were no streaming services. So anyone who wanted to listen to this had to go buy it.
I think
And
theater
so-
assholes like us. Like, I think us back in that day,
It's
like
like it has a Broadway original album quality to it of
Yeah,
the time of
yeah.
like, oh yeah, I'm
Yeah.
gonna buy this weird thing and listen to it.
I think musical
Well-
theater people would buy this.
I guess so. Yeah. I mean, and the music is it's kind of Henry Mancini a little bit in the background.
Yes, exactly.
I mean, I
It's
think
well played. It's a very professional. Whoever the band was, they're fucking great.
Well, yeah, and we know William Shatner now because we know he does stuff like this. So,
Yeah.
like, I mean, it sort of felt like, it wasn't as unexpected to us, I'm sure. I mean, the most unexpected part was when the chorus of voices came in to sing
Yeah.
part of Mr.
Right.
Tambourine Man, not the whole thing, just a small snippet.
Yeah. So it's like kind of good on its own terms, but we can't mention this one without mentioning that it's part of an extended universe of weird songs performed by the stars of Star Trek from that era. Because you will maybe make note of the story of Bilbo Baggins. Is that what the song is called? The one that Leonard Nimoy. Do you know about this?
Oh, I am familiar with this. Yes,
Colin.
Yes.
Oh my God, especially for you. This is going to be candy. It's Leonard Nimoy doing essentially like a pop version of telling the story of Bilbo Baggins. And there's like a crazy video. It's like, hey, go Mr. Baggins. Dun, dun, dun. It's like stuff like that. It's wonderful. Like it is grotesquely camp, like it is so campy. But it is, I think there's a connective tissue here, obviously. So it's just weird that there was this instinct to do this. And I don't know people that do this shit nowadays, right? Like,
no, but I mean, this definitely does have the quality I was talking about with the Hillary Duff thing about, like, it is the sort of thing like, oh my God, you have to hear this. This is so crazy. This is so terrible.
Mm-hmm.
Like, so, I mean, I think it definitely has that going. And with my standards, it has that going for it in its favor. So
Another thing that's, to me, I want to say stands out about this song is so many of maybe all of the other nominees, and I think all three of our songs feel very of like American suburbia in a kind of way, in like you'd hear it in a mall food court. This song doesn't feel like it's part of mall food court culture. So I want to say kudos to the nomination here, because it went to a different kind of best worst song that feels more adventurous in a kind of way.
I totally agree. I totally agree.
with
There's a different facet to what makes it the worst, which I think is a beautiful thing. Should we see what Joe's nomination is to see how the two match up?
yeah, so let's listen to the competing submission here by one Mr. Joe Rivers.
Good eye, mate.
Hey guys, Joe Rivers here, coming to you from Sydney, Australia. So my pick for the best worst song, well, I don't know if this is a bad song per se, but it's a very uncool artist who has disowned this period of their career because even they think it's uncool. So I'd say it qualifies. And my pick is Lost in You by Chris Gaines, and I love this song. The melodies, the vocals, the harmonies. I mean, I don't really like the term blue-eyed soul, but this is an incredible example of it. And I remember my dad buying the Chris Gaines record, but doing so with no idea it was actually an alter ego. because Garth Brooks just wasn't a thing outside of North America. So he was able to play this side project completely straight in Europe. As I understand it, the original project was supposed to include some kind of fake biopic as well, but the backlash was so big that the whole project was shelved. So I've got a song here that angered new and old fans alike to the point that the artists themselves completely disowned it. And I think that makes it a great candidate. But you've got to listen to it with fresh ears. It's a beautiful thing.
All
Thank you,
right.
Joe.
I had almost
Jeez.
forgotten about Chris Gaines.
Yeah.
And that whole era.
So first off, thanks Joe Rivers for bringing that back into our lives, because definitely this was it was like seeing the Babadook come up on the list. You're like, whoa, you know, you're like, oh yeah, Chris Gaines exists. So I'll start by saying this is another form of camp, you know, like there's this other, this is one of the campiest things. Garth Brooks, kind of campy, but like this is one of the campiest things that Garth Brooks ever did. And I completely forgot that this was a period of time for him. And what an artist that I think I underrate in terms of influence and popularity. Like Garth Brooks is hugely popular, so I got to hand that to him. Let's pass the baton to Colin first, though. Like, how did this one strike you? Did you know it before? What's your thought?
I didn't know it, and I didn't know the story behind it, so it's fascinating. I do think it's a really beautiful song. So I was one of the ones I was listening to before I heard the explanation. I was like, why is this being nominated as the best worst song?
Yeah.
It's a great song. I think, if anything, it's kind of an interesting exploration into what happens when an artist experiments with genre too hard. You know,
Yeah.
I can think of so many times a band I've loved has put out an album where they try to play with genre and with their genre really, and fans really don't like it and get upset about it. And I think that's kind of what's happening here on like a massive level. It's honestly a testament to Garth Brooks's musical talent. It's a lovely little song, and the fact that it was a hit, and ostensibly a hit without the name power of Garth Brooks behind it, really is pretty impressive. But that it was so universally sort of reviled by his fan base that it sort of had to be erased from the record is fascinating.
Yeah, totally. Michael, what about you? You go in next.
I mean, it gave me some serious TRL vibes, to be honest. Like, as I was watching, because I watched the video for all these when I was listening to it, and you know, he's virtually unrecognizable with the hair, and you know how they like make him up and whatnot. It's what it kind of comes across as, like white guy singing R&B in many ways.
Justin Timberlake.
Yeah, but it sounded like a lot of music that was happening in the late 90s. I didn't clock what year this came out, but like the late 90s post-grunge that was on MTV. And so like, I mean, for me, I guess maybe this being a best worst, you almost have to think of the context, because I feel like at the time, like when it was first coming out, this would have been, you know, just a travesty. Like, you know, this failed miserably when this happened. Like, it did not go well for Garth Brooks.
I was too young.
Yeah.
I was too young to know.
It was bad. Like and he has really, you know, attempted to sort of disown this part of his career. But so I mean, I don't know. It's not a bad song. Like that's the thing I'm a little torn about.
It's pretty decent. He's got a great voice. He's got I think maybe I'm discounting that, man. I'm like, he's like actually a really solid singer, like a distinctive voice too, not even just good technically or, you know, sort of kind of like harmonic, perfect, whatever. It's like really just a lovely voice. So yeah. And then did either of you watch the Childish Gambino like a version of this?
What?
Yeah, it's really
Childish
good.
Gambino has done a version of this song.
Yeah, it's so good. It's so good. It was on that Triple J like a version thing. They're like an Australian radio station, and they have a great online presence. Highly recommend if you haven't looked at their stuff. It's just fun. They have like people doing covers of things, and like the Wiggles did a cover of Tame Impala's Elephant one time that was really, really, really good. So that's just good. There's nothing worst about that. Let me tell you.
There's so much on the internet. There's just so much content out there. It's
so
ridiculous.
Weird. Yeah. Love content. Yeah. So my you know, my feeling on this is that there is, it might actually lose points as it compares. It might lose points purely towards being the best worst when compared with the William Shatner thing, because this is too good technically maybe to be the I think it loses based on the brief is kind of where I'm going with how these two compare. I think Cyrano Tambourine Man is just straight up a lot worse than this song. And I think that maybe has to count for something, or I don't know.
Yeah,
You could make the argument in the other direction. What do you think, Michael?
Well, because I feel like I kind of want something about the song to nag at me if we're gonna move it forward in the best worst thing. Like I have to be like, oh, there has like I might want to share it with people, and it might give me great joy, but there has to be something about my body that rejects it a little bit, and like this feels largely about the context is what makes it not great.
Yeah, this is a really hard matchup, actually, because I feel like they do the same thing for me. That the thing that makes them I'm going to introduce a concept that I think is necessary for me. It is a very important concept to how I'm assessing these things. And sometimes you have what we call an X factor, but with this one, I think when assessing for this particular title, you have to be looking at the ass factor, like how ass is the song.
Okay.
And then,
so
of
like
course,
their asses. Like,
and
William
of course, there's a
Shatner's
point in a
ass,
song. There's a point in a song where it reaches critical ass, and that's kind of when it tips over into being a worst song, right? So I'm looking at the X, small x, capital A, capital S, X ass. It's a metric that I've started to really get into analytics here. This one goes to 11, and so the X ass of these songs, how ass is it? I think that's what these are going to come down to for me. And I think that Cyrano Tambourine Man has a greater X ass than Lost in You. That's my take.
So your vote is for Jeremy's
my vote is for Cyrano
William
Tambourine
Shatner?
Man.
All right,
Yeah.
Colin, where's your vote lie?
Totally Tambourine Man.
Okay. And while wouldn't matter, but I would have to agree. I think William Shatner moves on to the finals.
There we go. Okay. It's good. It's good. He deserves it. I think he
does.
He deserves it.
Yeah.
And we might need to revisit Garth Brooks at some point on this podcast. I would be really interested in that.
Tricky, because I don't think any of his music's on streaming. Is that correct still?
I think that might be correct. Yeah.
Yeah. That's gonna. Yeah.
But thank you to Jeremy and thank you to Joe. Thank you, fellas. I hope you're both doing well.
All right, time for our second bout.
Yes.
And for this one, our first submission comes from someone we haven't talked to for quite a while, actually, Alex Mitchell. So let's listen to what they have to say here.
This is Alex Mitchell, and my nomination for Best Worst Song is Summer Girls by LFO. Truly, when I hear Best Worst Songs, that is the first song that comes to my mind. On a first listen, it is just a list of things. On multiple listens, it's still just a list of things. However, you get to that chorus, it continues to be a list of things, but it's so catchy. It seems partially problematic, but still catchy. It was also released during like the peak of Abercrombie and Fitch, and it's mentioned in a lot of Abercrombie and Fitch documentaries because this continued to be like the peak of that brand. So we can either blame this song or celebrate this song or just let it continue to be kind of dumb.
Well, we're definitely going to do that. We're definitely going to continue to let it be dumb. That's for sure. Because it's a very dumb song.
Yeah. I mean, I remember this playing. I don't know if this played while when I was working at the putt-putt golf course. This is one of the songs that played over the PA system. But I mean, where do I begin with this
I knew
song?
it was going to be nominated. I felt pretty confident this would be nominated. So that I think is notable.
It's just
it's notably bad.
Yeah, like it's like grade school poetry about the past set to music with a very limited range in terms of what they're singing. Like, I mean, I didn't figure it out, but I would venture to guess that they span a range of maybe 5 notes over the course of this entire song. But like, I mean, and all the rhyming, I mean, first of all, there's the refrain, New Kids on the Block had a bunch of hits, Chinese food makes me sick.
Right.
Like,
I
then
can't verify if that's true or not. Like you're claiming it very strongly and over again, but I have no way of confirming other than to ask you, is this true? Does Chinese food make you sick? Because I can verify that New Kids on the Block had a bunch of hits and that's good for them. But is this business about Chinese food making you sick? Is it true? Is what I want to know.
well, but then what does Paul Revere have to do with all this
Yeah.
and Shakespeare
That's
sonnets?
the best lyric.
And Michael J.
Yeah.
Fox. And then also, correct me if I'm wrong, and this may be the problematic thing Alex is talking about. Did they mention the color purple in here, referring to like the Alice Walker book made into a movie starring Whoopi Goldberg and not the color? Like,
I didn't do enough research to find out which direction that went, but they do say the color, like I love the color purple, I think is what he says. Right?
Yeah, but like the way he said it, it made me go like, wait a minute, are you talking about like, you know,
I think he just likes the
color violet
purple.
from the visible light spectrum, or are we talking about, you know, I
think
don't know.
that's it. I think this is what ATM was saying, is that it's like, is that problematic? Like that could be kind of problematic. But this is what happens when, you know, there's a particular kind of character from Southern California, in the American mythos. And it's the sort of
They have frosted tips. They all have frosted tips.
tough guy adolescent, you know, and this is so emblematic of that stereotype. And I think there is something very authentic that it is riffing on, but it's like you're referencing summers gone by. You're referencing all of the other summers that you've had, but aren't you too young to have had as many summers? Like, are you talking about from when you were like 6, 7, 8, or 9? Because that makes the kind of machismo of the way that you're delivering this kind of weird. Makes me uncomfortable. And then like they like kind of have a growl. It's like dun 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 dun, you know. It's like, what is this tone of voice? Where did this come from? How did you develop this?
I don't know. Colin, help us here.
I think Alex's description or testimonial is great because I think it encapsulates what's so good about some of these nominations, that it's, yeah, you can't defend this song on any level, but
it's
it is
indefensible. Yes.
But it is also such a pleasure to listen to. When I hear it, I'm like, oh, what an earworm. This song's so fun. And I think one thing I am thinking about is like David Byrne in his This Is Music book, or How Music Works, whatever it's called, talks about when he writes lyrics, a lot of times he's just sort of like, he's got like a rhythm in his head and like scat in his head that he then kind of figures out words that rhyme with the meter that's going through his head, and those words aren't always related to each other. They're just sort of like words that fit into the song. And this songwriting is exactly that, but gone terribly awry. There's no relationship between anything they say, and the lyrics are bad. And it's like, you can tell like these guys, whoever wrote this song is like, I got this catchy beat. I want it to be how summer feels awesome, but I got it's an up-tempo song, and this guy's gotta gotta sing it kind of fast. So like, I gotta come up with a lot of words. And so Paul Revere, I mean, like, he's just sort of like, he's almost like going to the random Wikipedia page button generator, and he's just sort of like, throw that in there, and what rhymes with that, and like, who cares? Which, you know, is very dissonant, but it's also like, it's also kind of catchy. It's like the lyrics stand out. You remember them. I also wonder, this is in an age before corporate sponsorships within art, but I wonder if like Abercrombie and Fitch paid them to work into the lyrics.
I mean, what else did they do? Like, what else do they have besides the song?
Right.
Like,
I think you're right that it is especially the like, look, you know, like the little guitar behind it and the beat, like, is so 90s. It's so, it is so emblematic of that time as well. The kind of oral landscape that they create that is very inoffensive, and it's very, you know, like it's not like exciting or anything, but it kind of lulls you into a sense of nostalgia that I think is powerful. And the truth is that they're like kind of a weird case. Only one of them's still alive, right? And now he's like an anti-abortion campaigner and stuff like that. So it's like, I think that kind of factors in a little bit to me as to like how bad this is, because I can kind of verify that the cynicism that I suspect is in some bad songs is kind of here. Kind of feels like somebody said, we need a song of the summer, and these guys were like just riffing on that. And I think in the research that I did, it says that they were surprised that this was the one that popped off. Like this was just kind of a throwaway song. And it's almost like they approached it from that Psycho Killer Talking Heads perspective, where they're like, I'm just going to make a song to prove that I can make a song. This isn't something that's coming from some deep artistic urge or some creative urge to try to say something. It's just coming from the pure, like, this is practice. And I know I'm going to put together a song that can be the song of the summer. There is a cynicism in that is suspect to me. Know what I mean?
I don't know. I think that takes songwriting too seriously to some extent. I think that like a lot of songs are silly, and a lot of songs are people just messing around in their bedroom or with their buddies in the garage band, and like who knows what's going to resonate. I mean, I think what's so powerful about this song is it feels like it resonates in two ways, almost universally to a certain extent. One way is that everyone knows this song is bad, and everyone kind of likes this song. So
That's
it's
true.
like it's very interesting that. Of course, they wouldn't know what power this had when they made it. Like, how could anyone have anticipated what this would be? But I don't know that it seems more dumb than cynical, in my opinion.
Okay, that's fair.
Okay.
It is pretty dumb. That's a better term for this one. And I stand by the notion of cynicism playing a part in this. But I do think that this is just it's least common denominator. It's pretty dumb, which counts against it and makes it worse. For sure. And also makes you feel a little shame for being lulled into its spell. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. You feel a little guilty when you're like, I kind of like this.
Like, oh, Chinese food makes me sick.
All right. Put this one away, and
someone's aside.
Let's hear the competing submission, which comes from a former guest, Gracie Meyer.
Hello, gentlemen. Gracie Meyer here, nominating the seminal classic 2016's Downtown by Macklemore and Ryan Lewis for Best Worst Song. And here's why. The lyrics, abysmal. They do not make sense. They do not rhyme. They do not have a lyrical syllable component that is cool. I think if the song came out today, it would have AI song allegations. Because of the writing and because of this pre-chorus, which has this woman going, downtown, downtown, and it like ever so slightly gives, we are Charlie Kirk. So I think it has some AI song allegations possible, but it's not. And the reason it is one of the best worst songs is because there is something undeniably infectiously joyful about the music. It brings people together. My sister's the one who originally showed me this song. It's on her must-play list at her wedding, which is in a week, so I cannot wait to sing and dance to this song with a couple hundred of my closest friends very soon. Love you guys.
Oh, love you too, G. Good to hear from you. And congratulations to your sister. I had never heard this song before. Had either of you?
I had not.
Wow.
What
rock were you guys living under in 2016?
Really?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like it was the lesser hit to his other big one about the thrift shop.
Yeah, the thrift shop. Thrift shop was big
and
too.
it almost starts the same way with him like being like, I got nothing to do today, so I'm gonna go shopping.
For a moped. Yeah. I mean, it's a great
I
advertisement for
definitely remember
mopeds.
And the thing that is stuck in my mind is the downtown pre-chorus, which is like sort of one of the things for me, along with Ho Hey, that I expect to be hearing in the lobby of hell. When I go to hell. It's like the pre-chorus to this song is just sort of.
But were you a Foxy Shazam guy?
No, I wasn't.
You weren't? Did you know Foxy Shazam, Michael? Okay,
No.
so this Eric Nally, the guy who's doing that's a guy, and he's doing the downtown bits, that kind of like Freddie Mercury style wailing. That's this dude Eric Nally from this band Foxy Shazam. That's actually kind of badass. Like he's got this crazy sort of like glam rock thing. We used to listen to him in high school. Actually,
in the video, he keeps doing this dance move where he keeps like falling to the ground on his knees, and I'm like, dude, that is not like, think about your future. Like that's not going to work out for real.
Not rock and roll.
ACL, careful, y'all.
Just make it look better too. It looks like it's crumpling. I don't like it.
Yeah, it looks
makes
like
me
he's like,
uncomfortable.
there's no death drop happening. He is just like smacking his knees on the ground. Anyway, sorry.
The video for this song is pretty evil. It's a pretty evil video, isn't it? Like
it's like West Side Story, but everything's okay, and
Yeah.
most and
yeah,
like
there's no
it's
stakes.
and it's still like
I didn't watch the
predominantly
video.
white.
You didn't watch the
you
video?
gotta
Dude,
watch
No,
it's
the
I
nuts.
gotta
video.
go back and watch
And
it.
I
Yeah.
God bless you, Macklemore. It seems like you mostly have the right opinions about things, but like you're just not a dancer, bro. I'm not a dancer either. I'm not a and I say this. I'm not saying I could do better, and I congratulate him for what he was able to do. But when I think of Macklemore, I don't think of dancing, and this felt very
No.
much like trying to create a Bruno Mars type video.
I
And-
wrote down this is Bruno Mars without Bruno Mars.
Right. And I'm like,
Yeah.
that's not really why you go to. That's not really what I want from Macklemore. I want Macklemore to be Macklemore. I don't want I feel like maybe he should have filmier videos. I haven't watched any of his other videos, but like I could see make them like little movies instead of sort of this like theater piece kind of thing. I'd be more interested in seeing that. I think that's something I was thinking about on the. Okay, well, what other points do we have on this one?
Well, it's a whole song about a moped, right?
Yeah.
Is the whole song about a moped?
I
Like-
guess it is. And I guess it's about a moped. And I think that they're talking about, are they going out tonight? Like, are they trying to convince me to buy the moped? Like, it is almost related
He
to
buys the moped. The
There's
moped's
a
been
notion-
purchased.
There's a notion of
he buys it? He like
Yeah,
officially
$800
I think he does. I
cash.
think he purchases it.
$800
Yeah.
cash.
Okay.
Yeah,
Wait, is that
yeah.
cheap? Is that cheap for a moped?
That's got to be cheap for a moped.
That seems
Okay.
unreasonably
You could
cheap.
save
That
up
seems like
that
how
much
in the
money
70s,
at your
that's how
summer
much you would
job
pay.
and buy a moped. That's got to be cheap for a moped.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Why is there a song about it, and what genre is this song? Like, it hovers somewhere between rap and like Broadway. It feels very theater-y.
Yeah, there's something
to me.
Broadway-ish.
So I don't
Definitely.
know where to place it.
Yeah.
And I know
Well, okay.
we're not a fan of genre, but still,
Right.
it's,
Okay. So if it's LFO versus Macklemore, I would say that the ass factor here. Both songs are pretty ass, and
Uh-huh.
I would say that there is something also, there's something also kind of inauthentic about both of them. It feels like it rings a little untrue in both of the songs. So I think they're kind of equal on that measure. But I also do think that there's something about a truly ass song, a truly best worst song to me has to be sort of iconic because of that. And maybe this is just due to like the distance in time that LFO, that Summer Girls is a lot older than Downtown. But to me, Summer Girls is going to last longer in our imaginations than Downtown by Macklemore. And I think that leads me to vote for Summer Girls over Downtown.
Okay. So Tyler, your votes for LFO Summer Girls. Colin,
Yeah, what about you?
where do you sit on this?
I also vote Summer Girls just because I think, like Tyler began his first comment about the song, you almost can predict it's going to be nominated for this before it even is. It is a titan of best worst songs.
It is. It is.
Well, then it's unanimous because that was going to be my vote as well for
Hell yeah.
so LFO Summer Girls. We'll move on to the final round. All right. It's our final bout of the first round. This one's going to be trickier because we have three choices. So there's a possibility there still could be a three-way tie on this.
Wow.
And
We'll have to phone a friend.
This one might be the most polarizing, I think, in terms of these three, because these three are each uniquely different.
Yes.
So let's get right into it. So first, of course, we have the return of dear friend of the pod, former co-host of an episode, Ashlyn Lozano.
Ashlyn.
My submission for the best worst song, God Bless the USA by Lee Greenwood. First of all, I thought that the song was called Proud to be an American, and it's not. I did not realize it came out in 1984. I thought for sure this was like a 2002 post 9/11 thing. But that, I mean, and on second thought, that's probably wrong because I bet it's been played at every single fireworks show I've been to in my entire life. So anyway, that song, it's terrible. It's a terrible song. The patriotism really creeps me out, but I know almost all the words. sing along to it. That's what fascism does to you. It just kind of creeps in and becomes part of your vocabulary. And for me, it's that song. Love you. Bye.
Okay.
Love you too, Shlyn.
Before we get into this, I just have to say that is like the most Ashlyn submission ever.
It is.
Like,
It's perfect. It's perfect. Right on brand.
To be clear, she also we had an ongoing text thread where she also brought to our attention the fact that the song has been covered by a group of children called Jump 5.
Well, they were once children, that's for sure.
Yes.
They were once children, and they had a Christian pop group called Jump 5 that did a version of this. That is perhaps the most menacing thing I've ever heard in my entire life. It is.
So watch the video.
As a piece of propaganda,
the video is sickening.
Yeah, as a piece of propaganda, it is truly chilling. Like it is a symptom of a deeply sick society that came into existence. It's genuinely fucking bad.
Let me dive into this first. So like if I think of the song as because here's the tricky thing about the argument with this is like for me, excessive patriotism is like a huge turnoff. So like that's me personally. Like when people get like really excited about America, I kind of go like, there's other things to get excited about, right? So I have to try and like I'm trying to remove that from the argument, even though that was a strong part of Ashlyn's argument here, because I'm kind of like, I don't know. When I remove that, I get a song that is, I think, maybe using fake instruments. Like, I think, like, I don't know if there's a single real instrument being, like, very electronic. Like, it is like a patriotic anthem meets 80s adult contemporary is, like, basically what this is. Like, it is CVS core. I would argue not in their best way. Not in, like, the way when you hear Sade at CVS and you're like, this is amazing, right?
That's when I feel like I'm in a movie.
Yeah,
is when Sade comes on at Walgreens.
You want to talk about creepy though? Like the video for this is real creepy because it's like Norman Rockwell. Like I mean, there's even a part towards the end where Lee Greenwood is like singing while sitting around this very like Norman Rockwell table with his family of people, and the camera like zooms in on him, and he's like not looking at the camera. He's like looking off with this like sort of shit-eating grin while he's singing, and he looks like he's like coked up or something. And it's just
he definitely does.
It's just hard to hear this song that seemingly has good sentiment to it without all the like noise around it, and the fact that it's not even that great a song, but it also is catchy. I don't know. Someone else talk.
Yeah. No, I think you're right. I think it's it's a little insulting, I think, as a song. It's a little insulting to the listener. It's condescending. I would say there's an element of condescension about Lee Greenwood's atmosphere. And I'll admit, my politics are pretty much opposite of his, and so there is this element of bias that I think comes into it, and I think it's relevant in what we think is like good and bad in art. Like it's your political, especially now in the way that we consume media now. I feel like it's always tied into like the lens through which you see the world. So like, am I proud to be an American? Like I kind of am. My patriotism exists in a place where it's like I want to engage with the question. I was born here, and this is the place that I'm from. But do I think that it's like some fantasy of a unimpeachable manifest destiny kind of nation state? Not really. So I don't know but I think that part of the power of this song is that it kind of, in the dumbest way possible, makes you think on that level. You're like, am I patriotic? Am I proud to be an American? Like, is this, or like, do I give a shit? Could I have been born anywhere else and have been just as happy? I don't know. So I think there's certainly a power to it in that sense. What about you? What about you, Colin? Any other thoughts?
This song weirdly holds a place in my heart of like being like 6 and hearing it at fireworks shows, and like not really having a college, retort about the politics of it. But I remember thinking the song is just cool. Like as a kid, I liked hearing this song when I would
Yeah.
hear it, when it would be at the fireworks show or on the radio or whatever. I liked it.
Yeah.
And so in a weird way, like I still kind of like even these days when I hear it on the 4th of July during a fireworks show, I'm sort of like, yeah, this song is like sick. I mean, I completely agree with everything that we're saying about about it as a song. Like it's
Yeah.
totally
Yeah.
part of this trope that I think a lot of country music artists do, because one, it's cynical. They know that their audience likes songs about sort of how good America is and how good soldiers are, and like
Mm.
that a pro veteran, pro military, pro America song is going to play.
Yeah.
So it feels cynical in that way because it feels like it's just like a type of song that every single country artist tries to do at some point or another. And it, yeah, sounds cheaply produced, and it's very schmaltzy and sort of like, yeah, lacks tightness and substance. But for whatever reason, there's some about it that I'm like, when I hear it, I'm like,
Yeah.
it makes me remember being, a kid and seeing my first fireworks shows. And then I will also say, in defense of the Jump 5 version, it's kind of an interesting cover. Like it's interestingly arranged. I like they have like a very distinctive like approach to it, which is like even more like dreamlike, and they
Yeah.
put lots of like weird like backing vocal things that are doing interesting arrangements in the background. The video is totally creepy, and the song is even more creepy because it's these kids singing it. But as an arrangement, I was like, this is kind of an interesting take on this song.
That's true. That's true. I mean, there's something to be said for even trying. This is kind of what I think when I see any movie, is I'm like, it's a miracle that got made at all. Anytime I see something, so I think maybe this is the point where we have to acknowledge that, like, for say what you will about how quote unquote bad the thing is, but man, we aren't still talking about it, 40 years later. So like there's something pretty powerful about the staying power of this song. And I do think that the line itself, the melody, is simplistic and kind of ugly in its own way, but is one that is very easy for people, especially kids and everybody, to remember how to sing. Well, I'm
Yeah.
proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free. Like you can remember it. It's almost like a trance, or like it's a folk song in that way.
It's not threatening. Like it's not
No.
threatening, and it's formulaic in a way that appeals to people. Like it's not, it's like it's comfortable. So
Yeah. So it's definitely bad. What's this one? What's this one going up against? Let's put the players on the table, shall we?
Well, okay, here we go. So the second candidate in this particular trio here is submitted by the first ever guest on our podcast.
This one's bad. Yeah.
The inimitable Meg Williams. Let's take a listen.
Hey guys, it's friend of the pod and mayor of the mic crew, Meg Williams. I nominate Jenna Rose's auto-tune disaster piece, My Jeans, for best worst song ever. In the grand tradition of Rebecca Black's classic Friday, My Jeans is a song by a child about something close to the hearts of all middle schoolers, wanting to wear the same cool pair of jeans that Hannah Montana, Ashley Tisdale, and Keke Palmer are wearing. Now, the true brilliance of this terrible, terrible song is that someone took the best line from the whole song, which is, ha 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 ha, Jack my swag, and then looped that into a 10-minute video on YouTube. Jack my swag for 10 minutes. I was first introduced to this child, her song, and importantly, the viral spin-off video by one Michael Osinski, cultivator of highest culture. Love yous.
Love you too, Meg. Jeez. Yeah, that is okay. All right. So you introduced me to this as well. This was introduced to me by.
Had I introduced this to you before this meeting for this
Yes.
this episode? Okay.
Yeah. The Jack My Swag for 10 minutes is
Yes.
part of our lexicon as well. So this has been in your quiver for a minute, and it's impressively bad, I would say. Had you heard it,
Yeah.
Colin?
I had not heard it. I mean, it's so recognizably Rebecca Black's Friday.
Yeah.
But guys, the literary critic Harold Bloom called William Shakespeare's Love's Labour's Lost a feast of language. And that's what we have in this song, My Jeans.
We do.
It is brimming with life and with energy and with complexity. I think it kind of rocks.
Are you being serious?
It's got the quality, like this is the song on the nominee that is like actually like a low quality production level song, like clearly
Yeah.
paid for in some suburban studio, like that some
Yeah.
guy put together.
Yes.
I want, but like I think it's kind of cute. It's very quick. It's full of all these lyrics. The music video is delightful. This girl has this like gang of like other middle schoolers that she's going around with, none of whom are wearing jeans until the very end. My favorite thing is like it's like all these people are wearing her jeans, but I can't tell, does she own them or does she just want them? And then she gets them later. And I love the like hip hop artist who is featured for 2 verses, who comes in, who has this awesome hype man. It's just like
You mean
people
Baby
being like,
Triggy?
I think Baby Triggy might be the best part of the song.
It's democratic. It's people saying we can make music too.
Yeah.
And here's us making music. And I'm a nobody, but I'm gonna name drop all these somebodies. And what I'm owning up on them for is my jeans. My jeans are the jeans they wear. I'm a trendsetter. I think it's a ton of fun.
This is it's really interesting because I do think you're touching on the part where we delight in how earnest she is. You know, like she really does mean this. And I think she's not making sense of what she's saying. She's not speaking as though she understands what she's saying at all. Like she could be saying any words, in my opinion. Like I feel like she is just pure spirit. Jenna Rose. She has the soul of an angel, and I think it shines through. And I want to commend her for that, because that's just her. You can't, she would be this way if she was, because now it sounds like she's like a project manager or something like that, or like a high level admin have you seen this something? It's like on a high level.
I haven't followed up on Jenna Rose.
Like a producer on a television show or something like that. She does good work. So it's like, you know what? I'm happy for you. You got your moment to be a pop star. You made a completely, like a completely serviceable piece of something, whatever it is, you did complete the song. The song is complete, and the song exists for sure.
Okay. But hear me out. there are 2 artists who are allowed to use autotune this way, all right? Obviously, the first one is Cher.
Okay. Yeah.
And then, oh my God, the second name is escaping my brain. It was in my brain
T-Pain.
a second ago. Thank you. Yes, T-Pain.
Yeah.
Cher and T-Pain are allowed to use autotune
in this way.
Yeah, and I would argue that like either Cher and T-Pain have paid for the good autotune, much like, some actors pay for the good plastic surgery, or they have just used less of it, because I feel like this whole song is auto-tuned in a way that, like, remember we were talking earlier about something that like nags at me? Like this song it just nags at me.
Right.
And also I can't, and this is my own personal judgment here, but like, how much money did she come from that her parents can afford to like pay for this like music video and recording thing? I mean, like, I don't know how much that cost, but like, I would think maybe my entire high school education. Like,
yeah,
dude, I think some people just be rich. Like,
yeah,
Colin and I have talked about
rich.
this that exists out there, that people are doing that for their kids.
Well,
I also wonder on these, like this and Friday and the other ones of that genre, like who wrote the song? Did Dad hire?
Yeah.
He hired the video crew and the video editor and the costume people and all the people who made this really impressive video. Did he also hire someone to write kind of like a pretty, like, there's no way a middle schooler wrote this song. It's like there's so much packed into it, and it's so functional as a song that I have to believe like a songwriter wrote this song. I always sort of suspect in these things too that Dad is like middle management at a music licensing company in LA, and he knows some like guy who was the songwriter 20 years ago who like wrote a one-hit wonder who is his buddy now, and he's like, hey, I want to do this for Jenna Rose's birthday, will you please write me a song about jeans because she wants these jeans. And then the guy goes and he's like, yeah, I'll make a hit for you. And then he writes this like song, and then they bring her to the studio and she does it, and they get her friend from class to come and do the hip hop part.
So
and
much
then they
fun.
all
Yeah.
get together for her birthday, and they spend 2 days shooting this music video where they go to every, it's incredibly diverse video. They're like in her house, they're at the mall, they do a live
all over,
concert
dude.
in the
There's
video.
a water
Yeah.
fountain they're at.
Yeah.
Could have been a
like-
week-long shoot.
Yeah.
I know, it's very complicated.
Yeah.
But yeah, I always
crafty,
wonder in these, like, how did the song itself get made? And that's my suspicion. But
Yeah.
that's also where it feels like the money is involved. It's also how she goes on to be middle management for some TV show, or how
Yeah.
Rebecca Black has gone on to like have her own, career. Is that
She's popping off.
they're
dude.
nepo babies, to some
Yeah.
extent. And I feel like they're actually kind of like mild nepo babies. They don't really have, Dad's not like a big exec at Universal Studios or something. He's sort of
Right.
like, yeah, I can get you in with this guy, and then it's kind of going to be meh, but like,
Yeah.
go for it.
Yeah. I think that's a great read on it. I think that's probably, I wouldn't be surprised if that was exactly the genesis of this song. Very, very close to it.
Well, we have to consider our third candidate since this is the trio here. So let us hear what our dear friend from across the pond, Rich Hammond, has to say. Here we
Thanks,
go.
Rich.
It's time for everyone's favourite segment, The Beginner's Guide to Hire by Creed in 60 seconds or less. While some guests might not be willing to give up their credibility as much as I am, if I'm going to champion a bad song, then it's this one. Hire sucks. It's a long, repetitive, churny slice of butt rock which tells you what it is in the first 30 seconds and manages to stretch that out for more than 5 minutes. But it's also a love song to how cool it is to play music to a crowd, as pure and perfect a subject matter as you can get. Count it alongside the Sultans of Swing and Taylor Swift's Long Live in that regard. Creed aren't sophisticated, they're not innovative, and Scott Stapp sings like someone stuffed him in a sack of rocks and pushed him down a long flight of stairs. But somehow that doesn't matter. It adds to the weird feeling of uplifting comfort I get when I hear it. I'm not proud, I wasn't above it. I own Human Clay on CD, and it still reminds me of a long past time where I didn't have responsibilities and I just wanted to listen to music, even if it was terrible.
Well said, Rich.
Beautiful.
God,
I was going to
God,
say,
it's-
I mean, of the submissions, like we were judging this based off of the submission
Yeah.
alone. I feel like that is a well-crafted
Yeah.
argument with some real zingers in there.
He's
So
a writer.
Thank you, Rich.
He's a writer.
Yeah.
Go read his blog. It's really worth reading. He's got a wonderful way of thinking about the world. Thank you for that one, Rich. That was really sick. I mean, we knew that Creed might pop up, right? Like this
Yeah.
was
Yeah.
this
Yeah,
was a
yeah,
given,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like the LFO song. You sort of figured this is a famously
Yeah.
best worst song.
It was either this or With Arms Wide Open. It was one or the other. It could have been either.
Did you guys see the viral video a couple summers ago when there was like some big college football game and Pop-Tart had sponsored it, and they had this human-sized Pop-Tart pop out of a giant toaster, and it was like having euphoria with the crowd, and then someone put this song under the video, and it literally brings a tear to my eye. It's so
I have not seen
beautiful.
that. That's incredible. Well, I knew that I don't think, I know friend of the pod, Matt Risby's a baseball guy. I can't remember if Rich is a baseball guy or not.
I can't remember.
I can't remember. But if you are Rich, then you might also have heard about the Texas Rangers taking Higher as their sort of unofficial, and then I think it even might have become official playoff anthem a few years ago as they made a playoff run, a late playoff run, an ill-fated playoff run, but a run nonetheless, which in baseball, sometimes you just want to run. So they kind of had a little surge in popularity, and they're touring still. Isn't it crazy that they're like still out there and have weathered the kind of tides of pop music and pop rock for decades now, and
like,
in a way that is remarkable.
Like also weirdly a little bit Christian rock adjacent.
Well, and I think he has some music that's more explicitly Christian, and then it seems like Creed's music tend towards the just generally grandiose in tone, I guess you could say. I mean, it really is. I love what Rich said about it being like the ode to play how rad it is to play music in front of people, because that little like that is such a Guitar Hero ass thing. Like it is so ass. This song is so ass. It's so bad. It's really bad, and it's like on a physical level, you know it, because I think it's mostly his voice. I think it's mostly his voice and how serious he takes himself. Like they really, I don't know if they're doing that in person now, but like at the time, it feels like this is totally like you are in outer space, my dude. You are not living on the same planet as the rest of us, right?
Well, and you talk about the voice too. Like there were all the Eddie Vedder comparisons. Like he
Right.
was like trying to do
Growling.
an Eddie Vedder voice, but like
Yeah.
Eddie Vedder was more authentic. That's just how he sang. And when he sang, he also came from a place of, which I don't know if I don't know if we can really argue that Scott Stapp is not singing from an authentic place. I just can't get out of my brain the story I heard at one point. I mean, first of all, I'm going to be biased because, as we can see, I'm a Pearl Jam fan, so I'm going to be anti-Creed always. But wasn't there some story about him challenging the front man of 311 and like he like throws his stuff down or something and walks in the room and says, 311, I'm ready to fight, or something like that. So now that's what I'm always going to remember now about,
I haven't heard that story.
Creed.
That's so good. He's ridiculous.
Well, 311 was on my mind because a question I wonder about some of these songs is like, let's leave our ivory tower of pompous, know-it-allness here. And like there must be legitimate unironic Creed fans, because that's who
Yes.
goes and buys a ticket to see them live. These are
Yeah.
people who actually like this song and don't think of it as a famously bad song. I think there's a lot of people who like this song and do know it's a bad song. I mean, that's most people. It's like, yeah, this is a fun song to have on the radio, but we all kind of think it's bad. And like I think 311 is similar in that regard. It's sort of like a band that so many people are like, what the hell? But then they still play
Mhm.
massive amphitheaters and people buy tickets and go to see their shows.
Yeah.
So I'm curious about the people for all of the songs we've talked about who unironically are like, I love that song. I think that is a good song. I am not
Yeah.
embarrassed by that song. That is my kind of music. Because I think they
Mm.
exist.
Yeah.
Well, and
And-
if this song
Mhm.
existed in a vacuum, how would we read it? Like if we didn't have the Pearl Jam
Right.
comparison, if we didn't have everything we know about Scott Stapp, like would we, I mean, because
In
let's also
isolation, you're
acknowledge,
saying. Yeah.
I mean, let's also acknowledge another group that has not come up, and I thought for sure was going to come up in this episode. We have no Nickelback we're talking about here.
Yeah, I know. I noticed that too.
So,
But because it's almost like they're bad. It's like they're not. I don't know.
I don't know what I think about Nickelback anymore.
I don't either.
What is the world?
Because I think part of it really is contextual for Creed too, is that they just are kind of boners, like they're just kind of like silly dudes, and so you can't take them seriously in a way that would make you feel like you could. At least if you're in our perspective, I think there are a lot of people out there who are probably just like, it's fun, it's silly, and like I don't need it to be that deep. I've met plenty of people in my life who feel that way about music, and I respect that perspective. It's like, yeah, we choose to intellectualize these things, and this is where they end up in a bracket like this. But I think there really is this person, there's kind of people out there who just want that, and it is like a security blanket. It's very, very familiar, very nostalgic of that time, and I think that's why Third Eye Blind is so nostalgic. I think people could have maybe nominated Third Eye Blind for this bracket as well. So I think that is yet another example of how this brief can be taken in many different ways. But if we're looking at these three and which one I think qualifies as best worst, we have. So what is it? It's
Lee Greenwood.
God Bless the USA.
God Bless the USA. We got Jenna Rose.
My Jeans.
And we've got Creed, Higher.
Yeah.
This is tough.
Michael, I'm gonna put it to you to render your decision
You go
first. And I think I'm just gonna choose the one that I think is the best worst of the three. I'm not gonna like do head to head. Well, maybe doing head to head for two of them makes sense. Of My Jeans and God Bless the USA, which is the best worst of those two?
I don't know what. Well, I'm a co-host too. I'm going to push it off and make Colin go first.
Sounds
Best
tough.
worst of these songs. It really is because they're all so different.
Mhm.
Yeah, this was the weird grouping.
I'm gonna say My Jeans, guys. I want My Jeans to move forward. I'm rooting for My Jeans.
Are you?
I'm
Okay.
proud of My Jeans. I like My Jeans. Okay.
Okay. This is the problem. We might have a cat's game. We might have a cat's game if each of us chooses a different one in the three. So there's a hole in our structure here, but that's okay. I think.
I know. Are we leaning towards different ones, Tyler?
I don't know. This is the question. We better be. I think I have to choose God Bless the USA.
Okay.
Wow.
What were you going to choose?
And this is not because I'm biased because of who nominated it, but I'm going to have to go with My Jeans.
Really? Okay, good.
Well, because I
good.
talk about that like nagging, and that, that is just, the song
That's
just
true.
makes me, ugh. But
Okay,
anyway.
So we're at the semifinals right now. We have
we're at the final. We're at the, because we're just going to have all three go against each other here.
Another threefer.
Another threefer. Okay.
Yeah.
So, okay, what are our three?
Okay, so our three for the finals are Theme from Cyrano. Theme from Cyrano / Mr. Tambourine Man by William Shatner, nominated by Jeremy Gable. LFO's Summer Girls, nominated by Alex Mitchell. And My Jeans by Jenna Rose, featuring Baby Triggy, nominated by Meg Williams. So where do we even begin?
This is such a great trio, though, to be in the final together, because we've got a beloved hit song that still gets lots of radio play, but also famously reviled. We have like a charming but haphazard Nepo baby birthday gift of a song. And then we have this strange forgotten thing from 30, 40 years ago that is not
60.
a song at all. It's spoken words. So we really arrived at a nice little question for ourselves, which is,
what is it?
What's a best worst song?
Well, and should we agree on a question that we all ask ourselves the same question since it's the finals, or should we all just use our own standards again?
I think we have to use our own standards.
Okay.
Right? Because my thing is, how ass is it? Which is the assest of this three? I've been focused on ass for this endeavor,
And mine has been what's the thing that's nagging at me the most? Like, what's the thing that just makes me disgusted almost?
Yes.
I guess mine was worst. I just best modifies worst, and best is the worst in that case.
The worst of the worst, right? Okay, so you're looking for the worst of the worst.
Yeah, which for me clarifies my vote to me.
Okay.
Which is that if I had to listen to one of these songs forever, which would I least want to listen to would be the William Shatner song. The other two are songs, and I could enjoy. It was the only one that when I was listening to it, I was like, when is this thing gonna end? It was the William Shatner song.
But I think with the problem with the William Shatner song for me is that if we're using that metric of what I could listen to, like literally what I could listen to,
you got to use your metric.
You got to use your own metric, though.
I know. But I'm saying in that sense, it's like there is a level of complexity to Tambourine Man Cyrano that I think there's something intellectually interesting about it, in a way that I feel like it is really dumb. Like My Jeans is so dumb. It lacks any kind of sort of sense of itself. It's just sort of vapid, I guess you got to
decide if you're going for the semiotic or for the phenomenological, Tyler, to raise our intellectual level of this podcast.
Aren't we always though? Aren't we always? And then the other thing is that if it's Summer Girls, Summer Girls to me is like there's a personal connection of nostalgia for me too, where it's like this may be one of the first songs along with Creed that I ever knew to be bad. I kind of have it came at a time in my life where it's like, oh, this is kind of shitty. Like I don't like, this is lame. And so Summer Girls like has a very nostalgic feeling to me that I think is relevant to the music that we consider the worst. It's what helped us form our sense of taste about what we think is good, So I kind of feel like I'm leaning towards Summer Girls.
See, now that's a damn shame, because if I'm thinking about which one of these three songs nags at me the most and makes me want to turn it off immediately, it's going to be Jenna Rose's My G.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
So we're at a bit of an impasse here. So how should we break this three-way tie?
I think one of us has to. I think we maybe have to make like a final argument, because I think that if we're gonna say it's close enough for me that I could concede the Jenna Rose. I could concede the Jenna Rose bit. I think,
But weirdly, it's close enough for me I could concede Summer Girls. So I wonder if, Michael, you can complete the circle and all of our second vote can also be a three-way tie.
I will say honestly, my second choice was going to be William Shatner, to be honest.
Wow.
Okay.
Wow.
Okay, interesting. Interesting, yeah.
We're deadlocked.
Yeah, well then I think what it actually comes to is that we designated you, Colin, we're going to abandon your vote because you are simply the vice president. So we'll abandon your vote for Shatner.
Okay. Well, that's what wasn't the way I thought it was going. So good. Yeah.
Well, we were going to have it be all up to you.
Yeah. Thank you.
We'll abandon your vote for Shatner.
I didn't want that horrible weight on my shoulders.
And if you were going to throw your lot in, if you had to create a coalition government with one of our branches here, who would you be throwing your lot in with? Would you be throwing your lot in with Summer Girls?
I just kind of said it. It's Summer Girls because it is just such an epically, famously bad best worst song. You know, it's both bad and good in a timeless way that has made it a smash universal hit that I think My Jeans possesses many of the qualities. It was confined to the YouTube era and not to like mass radio, and had it been a radio hit on par with Summer Girls, it might take the cake, but that's why Summer Girls is second in second place for me.
Well, I can see that, because I also sort of think, if like with my definition of it being best worst, it needs to be something that's not just terrible. It's something that like people get some sort of joy out of it.
Yeah.
So
and My Jeans makes me mostly angry. Like, it makes me mostly angry that it exists. Whereas LFO's Summer Girls, I'm like, it feels like childhood. You know, it feels like driving around in the minivan on a hot day. And there's really something powerful in that, how it still has that power.
So I guess that means that here at This One Goes to 11, we declare that the best worst song is Summer Girls by LFO, nominated by Alex Mitchell. So
thank you, ATM.
Huzzah!
Beautifully done.
Huzzah. This was good work. We really dug in. So I appreciate you digging into the weeds with us there, Colin. The
joke I wanted to make was that the playlist of these songs I'm going to nominate as a perfect album on my next appearance.
So we can get them all into the pantheon. That makes sense. They're technically in their own wing of the pantheon, you know, like they're related. So they deserve a spot. It has to be there has to be something that makes you want to listen to it. You know, like the car crash that you can't look away from, you know.
But what's the occasion that you listen to this playlist? Like, what
barbecue.
Is it?
Barbecue's good. Barbecue's going to CVS, going to the mall.
Going to CVS. Yep.
For me, though, it would have to be, if it were barbecue, it would have to be like barbecue where you're playing the music loud enough that people are not, it's not just in the background, people are actually, it provokes discussion.
Yeah. Hey, stop talking and listen to the playlist.
Right. Because somebody,
eat your food and listen to the playlist.
Somebody suddenly, it's like they're like drinking a beer and they're suddenly becoming, is this William Shatner? You know, like, is this, you know, like that would be a really fun. Yeah. Like, this is actually kind of, I was in Cyrano in high school for sure. Yeah, that would be our kind of barbecue. So maybe when we have This One Goes to 11 barbecue party.
For the picnic. So for the picnic.
There
we go.
Exactly.
We have the big picnic. When all 100 some odd guests all convene in one location to be determined.
It's going to be madness. It's going to be like if the New York Knicks win the NBA Finals. It's going to be like they'll burn down Philadelphia at the This One Goes to 11 picnic. It's going to be madness.
And based on when this episode comes out, if the New York Knicks have in fact won the NBA playoffs, New York, I hope you're okay. So, or if they've lost, I hope you're okay. New York City.
I hope you're okay. Yeah. I don't know. I don't know. We'll see. I think they might win. We'll see. Colin, What a joy, what a pleasure. I love being your housemate. I love sharing music with you. We'll have some more content, some tasty content coming for you later in the summer.
Yeah, we got some bonus stuff, and
keep your ears peeled for that. Anything else people need to know? One more terrible song you want to share with the world?
I can't think of one. I mean, I could tell them to share or to enjoy the terribleness of social media, where they can find out what we're up to on that. You know, all the
Keep
social medias.
Yeah.
You got anything else, Colin? Any others that we
Anything
didn't?
you wanna
I've
shout
got
out?
nothing else to promote or shout
right.
out. Shout out to you guys. Thanks for having me. Always a pleasure.
It's been
We're
a
watching
joy.
Twin Peaks tonight, Michael.
Where are you on it? Like
We're in
first or
season
second
2.
season?
We're in season 2.
two? Okay.
Yeah. Kind of like a
Just
quarter of the way into season 2. We've got some work to do.
So do you know who's killed Laura Palmer yet?
Yes. Not on this watch. I know from a previous watch.
Okay, so you haven't seen. Okay,
We
haven't
not
gotten
to
there
the
yet.
reveal yet.
and you have not. So you have not watched The Return at all yet.
0.
Man,
I know.
man,
That's
we're
what
gonna have
Colin
to
and I
talk
want to
when
do
you get
together
to The
before we move
Return.
out.
Oh my God! Like
Yeah.
it is. Prepare
That's our goal.
yourself.
We got the, and I want to say I also got the blue velvet on Blu-ray in honor of our friend Noah Loffer. So
Nice.
more to come about that, perhaps a little bit later in the summer. So anyway,
Nice.
I love you, Colin. I love you, Michael. I guess all there is left to say is bye.
Bye.
Goodbye.